Okay, so we are working on the 1997 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme SL. And tonight we're preparing the intake manifold for installation on our new engine block under the cover over there. And in doing that, what I did is I used the tap and die set to clean up all the thread holes here. Alright. And I got polished all the mating surfaces where the gaskets will go. It's pretty much about as clean as I can get it with the stuff I have here at the shop, but it's ready for installation. It'll be fine. It's ready to go. This actually goes like this once it's on the engine again. But that ought to work just fine. We're getting closer to being ready to well, heck, we're about ready to put the oil filter on. That's pretty exciting to me. Oil filter goes over here. Can't see that. All right. Yeah, right there. Got to have that in place. Oil the gasket and put it on before we can start spinning. There it is, right down there. That's what we got to turn, which is the same thing as, I knew I had one of those the other day in the toolbox. I couldn't find it right away. It's one of those. That's what turns your oil pump right there on any General Motors. I'm sure there's different sizes, but that's the most common size that I know of, working on V8s and V6s. The reason I want to put the intake on is because they have the gasket there already. I don't want to throw oil all over that gasket. And it doesn't look like it's removable. And I can't find a lot of instructions that come with this, but I'm thinking because of the material it's made out of, that I probably don't need to put silicone on the intake, but I'm probably going to go ahead and put black silicone on it anyway. But it does look like we're going to need to put something here, and probably silicone right there and right there, and the same at the other end. I'm sure there's a gasket for that. Usually I go ahead and pressurize the oil system before I put the intake manifold on, but I don't feel like I can do that with this. I will have to take the valve covers off in order to set the intake on, which is fine that they supplied really nice new ones. At first I thought, oh, they threw me off because they look like plastic, but when you look at the back side, you see that they are metal. So it's just got some kind of covering on it. Maybe that's better than paint, you know, so it looks cool. But anyway, I like the way it looks. Matches the block, you know. So we're getting ready. That's what I'm trying to get ready to do, is pressurize it with oil. We'll pump it up here first, you know, spin it with something. Most likely it'll be that right there, because the 5/16 socket actually fits right on that shaft. So we'll spin it with something like that. Most likely that will be it. And then once that's complete, that little jewel right there goes on with the right there. That's going to drop down in that hole. Put that into place where it belongs. Then the starter goes on. I believe we may not be able to do that if the starter mounts to the... You can't always do that. If your starter mounts to your transmission, then you can't do it that way. Oh, wait a second, what do I see? Okay. Starter mounts to right there. Now, of course, to turn with the starter, I'd have to have the flywheel in place. And I said to take that off before you put it on the stand, so that may not be possible either. But what is possible is pressurizing it with your drill first. I may have to do that other test after it's in the car. You know, crank it with my starter, and then we'll have to see. I'll find out when I spin it exactly where your oil pressure is on this thing. I'll figure that out. Oh wait, it's right there. Could be. This may be more high tech, so I can't do it that way. Anyway, that could be for timing for all I know. This is all computerized, so it runs off sensors. So I don't think there's going to be any problem with setting timing or nothing. You just got to plug everything back in the way it was when you took it out and fire it up. There's no distributor. It's coil packed. So it runs off of sensors. Alright, I don't have an oil pressure gauge here, but when I use my Conway, I already have it for this car. I've been using it for quite a few years. It's coming really handy. This little jewel right here, that, and then you hook it up to an Android phone, which I still kept that because it really wasn't nothing wrong with it. I just upgraded. I can look at the oil pressure on that and vacuum. See how much vacuum I have, see how much oil pressure I have. All kinds of stuff I can do with that. And I got the download, which cost me $5. Well, I'm not really worried about doing that, but you can actually do 0 to 60, G-forces, quarter miles. I just went ahead and got it because it was only another $5. But it's actually been a sporty car. I drove it for years. It is pretty quick. You know, it's front wheel drive, so definitely not thinking about burning them off. But it will go. She goes. She's nice. She's sporty. Basically, it ought to be a lot of fun just to drive around in luxury, you know. Good AC, stereo, all that kind of stuff. And it looks cool. You know, bucket seats, console shift. It just has a lot of the stuff that you would like in a sporty car, like your disc brakes all the way around and all kinds of things that are like that. All right, this is John Rudy with Rudy Racing, signing off.